Hey, what's going on? This is Virginia de Vegas. Check out my interview on CreativeDisc.com, the #1 music website in Indonesia.
Hello, city lovers. Welcome back to another Creative Disc exclusive interview. Dundhee Yuwono is here as your host, and I'm about to introduce you with one of musician who already started his music career since 2014. Bunch of EPs and singles he already released, and with the recent one is the collaboration with Noted called Malibu. Here with me now is Derik John Baker, aka Virginia to Vegas. Hi, Derik. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing so great. Thanks for the nice intro. It's nice to be here.
Thanks for having me and thanks for spending time to know you a little bit and to know your music a little bit. So, where are you right now and what are you doing currently?
I am just outside of Toronto in my home in
Cool,
Canada.
cool.
I'm currently speaking to my friends in Indonesia for the first time in my life, which I think is very cool.
Wow.
And
This is
yeah,
your first
I've
time?
never
This is
done.
your first time? Wow, I'm honored.
Yeah, it's very cool. I'm very excited. I woke up this morning in a great mood. I was like, this is awesome.
Sure, let's continue this good mood for the whole day then. So, have you heard though about Indonesia? Instead of talking to your Indonesian friend, we are friend now, right?
We are friends. Yeah, I mean, my conversations with Indonesia are pretty limited. They're just what I
Mm,
hear from people on Twitter and Instagram.
yeah.
So I am excited to learn and know more. Absolutely.
Yeah, we are so active when it comes to socials, right? Because there are tons of people like listening to your music as well in Indonesia. So let's get to know you a little bit. Here are the things that I learned about you based on my research, simple research that I have. You started as a duo and doing some covers through YouTube. And then in 2014, you released your first single, We Are Stars, which become a huge hit, and bunch of singles and EP after that. Is that right? Is that a great what is it like research that I did?
Yes, this is good research. So it's been a long journey since 2014. We're in
Mm, mm,
2021 now. So 8 years ago, I put out my first song with one of my good friends and Lissa Reed, and that song did really well for me and gave me an opportunity to have a career. And since
right.
then, it's been a lot of music and a lot of more collaborations, which have been a lot of fun.
Yeah, sure. Because the latest one, the collaboration that you released with Noted called Malibu, it's so catchy for me because the first time I hear it, it's like wow, this is so good. This is some beat that happened and I really kind of danced to it whenever I heard about the single. So speaking about
Thank
that
you.
recent collaboration with Noted, how is the collaboration happen in the first place though, Derek?
It was pretty organic. It just happened through friends. So one of my good friends had kind of like knew their manager, and
Mm,
we had the song written, and we just sent it to them, and they loved the idea of the song, and then we started working on the music and the production for the next year. It took about a year to do between the two of us,
mhm.
and I think we were both really happy with how it turned out, and it seems like people really enjoyed it. So.
Yeah, sure. Because like I said before, I really enjoyed that song so much. But first, Derek, let's throw back to when you first decided to pursue your career as a musician. Why is the music is the what is it like the career that you want to chase?
I went to school for travel and tourism. I used to work in hotels, and I used to like
Wow.
I used to yeah. I didn't go to school for music. Music was just always something that I did, and I loved doing. And as much as I enjoyed my career working in travel and tourism,
Mm.
music was my love and my passion. So I feel grateful every day that I get to continue, singing and playing guitar and writing songs. And
Mhm.
I'll keep doing it as long as people keep liking my music.
Yeah, because by the way, when you release a song, when you write a song though, do you always like tell your story through every single song, or it's just like inspire you got the inspiration from others?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of songs, at least the good ones, come from some semblance of truth, some semblance of personal relationship. Because I think the more you can tell a story that's like very detailed and very personal,
Hmm.
for some reason it's kind of bizarre. It becomes more relatable, you know.
Yeah,
But when you try to tell something
right.
generic, it's less relatable. So yeah, I try to use a lot of personal experience.
Hmm. And that is the way also to what is it like connect with your listener for some reason, right? Because when they heard your story, when they heard what is the thing that you want to tell them, and they feel like, hey, I got the same experience as this singer, and they will connect to as well, right?
I like that. Yeah, and that makes me think of like when I was first starting out as a songwriter. I used to really love listening to John Mayer,
Mm,
and I remember like thinking about like, wow, how did that guy say that thing? I was feeling that exact emotion. I wish I said that. You know what I
right,
mean? So
right.
yeah, I think so. That's a really cool point.
Because that is the most interesting part of music, I suppose, because there are a lot of musicians out there, like tons of billions musicians, right? But when the musicians speak their part of the story and it relates to their listener, it will connect them like eventually, right? Do you feel the same way too when you listen to the music?
Oh, oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm still such a fan of music. I listen to music all day long. It's
Right.
like I think it is the fuel of life. You know what I mean? Like you need music. It's good for the soul. I don't know.
Right, right. So, looking back to your first release in 2014 until now, you've grown so much. I know that it's been like 8 years now, right? What is the thing though that you feel the most change in your music? What is it like? Your music type, or what is the most changing in your journey?
Without running the risk of sounding cliche, I think the thing that I've been able to do in music is make my stories more personal, and I personally enjoy my music more. Like I enjoy the music I make. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Where when you're starting out making music, it's not necessarily that I didn't enjoy the music I made, but I feel like I've been able to get the music I make and the music I listen to have gotten closer together.
Wow.
In that sense, you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
the music I make and the music I listen to are more closer to the things that I really enjoy listening to.
Mm-hmm. And that makes you way more like what is it like creative when it comes to creating your music, right?
I think so. I mean, I love listening. Like right now, I'm like super hooked on music from the '70s. I've been listening to a
Yes.
lot of like vintage records
Right.
and like trying to like how did they do that disco bass or how did they make that drum fill and like how do they make things sound so organic and have so much life in them and
Mm-hmm.
that's like what I've been really trying to like pull influence from right now.
Sure. It's funny you mentioned a 90s, 70s and also 80s kind of influence because that's the way I feel whenever I heard your music. You took what is it like here and there for some bit of your music, and that's quite interesting because like there are not many musicians nowadays that put what is it like 70s, 80s, 90s music in it, you know?
Well, I grew up in the 90s and my parents were listening to records in the 70s and 80s. So
Right.
I think it's just a pretty good representation of like the music that like is in my head, you know? Like I'm sure the
Sure.
kids that are coming out now, it's so wild seeing these like brand new artists and they're doing like pop punk and it's
Yes.
like vintage pop punk that like replicates like you know the Blink 182 or the Used or Taking Back Sunday and it's like vintage for them and then I think about it, I'm like, man, am I getting old because like I remember listening to those records in high school, you know?
Yeah, they coming back to our generation, right? Like It's kind of like
Yeah.
interesting because I also listen to that kind of music, and suddenly all of the musicians, like most of the musicians nowadays, pretend to like bring back all of those classic music, vintage music, I must say.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I actually really like it. Like I I love the resurgence of pop punk. I think it's very fun.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So, Derek, last February, you already released your latest EP called LA in the Rear View, right? And already released a single as follow up after those EP. So, will those single with an noted become the song in the new EP as well, or what is the plan for 2021 for you?
Yeah, just I mean we're still pretty heavily in quarantine here in Canada, like lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
I think things are kind of getting back to normal shortly, I hope.
I hope, finger
But
crossed.
yeah, I hope too. You know, it's been a tough year for a lot of people,
Right.
and I hope so. But I've spent most of my time at home here in my little home studio and making a lot of music. So
Mm.
there's so much new music about to come out, and we're
Yes.
really excited to put it out. And hopefully, if everything goes as planned, you know, it won't be too long before I can come to Indonesia and do
Please.
a interview with you in person and
Come
play a
on.
show and, you know, like check out your amazing country.
Sure, sure, man. I have what is it like the urge to meet you in person and speak about the music and stuff. But before that, is there like any collaboration that happen in near future though? I mean, you already collaborate with Noted, right? And you already
Yeah.
collaborate with bunch of great musicians as well. But is there any musician that you would like to have a collaboration with, or you already have, but you don't want to say it?
So the next album has a lot of collaborations on it.
Sure.
I'm calling it the year of collaborations. I'm pretty
Wow.
excited.
Okay.
I can't say who is on the next song, but I can tell you it's pretty cool. It's a throwback to that pop punk style,
Wow.
and it's got a country singer on it.
What?
So
Okay.
it is a pretty awesome blend of genre and style, and I think it's really unique, and I'm really excited for people to hear it, and hopefully they like it.
I can totally wait until that moment happen. And by the way, to wrap up this interview, I have a few more questions for you. But for anyone who happens to
All right.
know you through this interview, man, what song do you suggest them to hear and to know Virginia to Vegas a little bit more?
My I have three favorite songs. Better with You,
All right.
which is an acoustic song,
Yes.
which I think is just like a really pretty song, which I think showcases some songwriting. Uh, what Are We, which is like, in my opinion, like one of my favorite, like kind of 80s
Yeah.
love songs. I just think
Yeah.
it's like really fun and like it feels like a movie to me. And then Just Friends, because I think Just Friends like really introduce my music to a lot of new audiences. So it's pretty accessible. So I think people will get a good idea of what Virginia Vegas is from those songs.
Yes, that's a great selection of music that you have. I mean, those three songs I also like so much, especially the acoustic one. I'm
But
kind of like
yeah,
a
thank
ballad
you.
song, so when I heard a ballad song when it comes to acoustic thing, I really love it, man. So
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank
this
you.
is this is probably the most random thing between all of the great songs that already released, including the legend hits nowadays in this world. If you could be the one
Uh-huh.
who wrote it, what song would it be and why?
Wow, that's so hard. Oh my gosh, that's such a tricky question.
Probably like the one that stick to your mind and till then till now, from then till now.
I'm so stumped on that because I could say like I could say so many songs. Like, like last year I was so obsessed with Dreams by Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
But, I'm also like obsessed with so many John Mayer songs because they've like really changed the way that I look at the world and look at songwriting.
Yep.
But then I'm thinking of that Gypsy, I think it's Gypsy Kings, that one song, Dancing in the Moonlight. What is that song? That song is just, every time I hear it, it makes me feel so happy. I can't think of it. Okay,
Oh,
for now, I will say, the one?
I know that, but I didn't remember. I cannot recall the title though.
I know, I can't think of it right now. I don't know why it's like skipping my, it's something Moonlight, Dancing in the Moonlight,
Dancing
right?
in the Moonlight, I guess.
Dancing in the Moonlight. Because every time I hear that song, it makes me so happy. So
Sure.
I think it was Gypsy Kings. No, it's Top Loader. The band's Top Loader.
Dancing
in the Moonlight.
Top Loader. Yeah, I know. I know that song,
Okay,
but I don't remember the title. I guess the title is Dancing in the Moonlight also, right?
Yeah.
That is the title.
It makes me so happy every time I hear it. Oh, no, Harvest Kings was the original band, but then it was redone in the 90s by a band called Top Loader.
Cool. You're Googling it right now, right?
I'm Googling it. Yeah,
sure. Okay, so my last question for you, Derek. Remember the Jim Carrey meme that... Okay.
Yeah.
So my last question, is there any message to your Indonesian fans who happen to watch this video or listening to the podcast?
Yeah, nice to meet you guys. Nice to talk to you. Hopefully I get to see you all real soon, and I hope you're all staying happy and healthy and safe and wonderful. And thanks for the support over the years. I know we don't have a personal relationship as of yet, but I see your messages on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube, and it means the world to me. So thanks so much.
Thank you also, Derik, for your time, and thank you for spending time with me and get to know you a little bit. It's been a great pleasure of mine to speak to you, and can't wait to have you here in Indonesia and try some of our food.
I can't wait. That sounds amazing. Thanks, Dundhee. That
Sure.
sounds awesome.